Hello, everybody. My name is Alan. This is my wife, Maria. And this is our first video of 2 Cups with Tigger and Boo. This is just kind of going to be like fun videos. Something that we just have really pressed on our heart, birthed out of like marriage and family and just life in general. There's so much going on with social media and all of this other type of stuff. And then we're in a period where our kids aren't on all that stuff yet, but they will eventually get there. But there's been transition, obviously, as we have a 10-year-old all the way down to a 3-year-old. And we just kind of thought this would be kind of fun, kind of cool. And the 2 people that watch this might get something out of it. Just to kind of share our heart, you know, on our marriage. We get a lot of questions sometimes, you know, about kids, and because we used to facilitate parenting classes and other things like that. So we just want to kind of share our heart and what we do, and you know, take it with a grain of salt. Take out what you like, throw away what you don't.
Yep. And one of the comments that we get a lot is just when people spend time with us is how real we are. As you can see, we're most of the time going to be in our pajamas. Unshaved.
Yeah, I may shower these days. I don't know.
It's a good thing you guys can't smell from this.
Hey.
But just how, you know, who we are. We love to just talk together, laugh together.
We laugh a little bit.
And we just want to share. I don't know. I just think that a lot of times, especially for marriages, there's just a lot of great principles that are shared, but it's sometimes hard to see what it looks like practically. You hear phrases like be intentional in your marriage, make that a priority, but like how exactly is that do you do that on a day-to-day basis? And that's kind of what we want to, part of what we want to share.
And what we do. I mean, there's things that other people do that work well, which is great. We just want to share that, hey, these are some of the things that we've done over the years, and our marriage obviously is not perfect. You know, there's ups and downs. There's not any real drastic up and downs. We don't really yell at each other or anything like that, but we'll get into all that stuff later. But what's the first thing?
Oh, well, we also just wanted to share that we're not experts. Like, we want to make that clear from the beginning. We're not marriage experts. We're not parenting experts. But these are topics that we've really have been passionate about. We've been intentional about studying together, seeking counsel,
reading together,
advice together,
counsel together.
So we'll share what has worked for us. Again, we're not trying to push any agenda or any one parenting philosophy or anything like that. Sometimes we may even share materials that we've used, but we're not trying to sell it or anything like that.
Right.
We just
veto socks
that we have worked for us, and also that the purpose of these videos is mainly just really to encourage marriages and families, and we're not trying to turn it into a debate forum because we feel like there's enough of that going on in social media. So so this is kind of our intro video, but also that we're going to kind of briefly explain the background of this coffee. Are we calling it coffee time? 2 cups with Tigger.
2 cups with Tigger and Boo.
Coffee and tea. I'm a tea drinker now. He's a coffee drinker.
I am a coffee drinker.
Just kind of the background
because
behind
of these 4 right here. I drink a lot of coffee.
Background behind that is that just from early on in our marriage, we just wanted to make sure that we prioritized our time together, just for us to talk and without the kids, and just for us to have a set time on a daily basis of when we can just kind of just be ourselves.
And that was something we got out of a curriculum. It wasn't like we came up with it. We did do stuff before we were married. Like, we used to read books together and, you know, do all kinds of stuff. And then we started having kids, and, you know, life gets busy, man. Before you know it, you have a 10-year-old. So it's something that doesn't have to be super long. Sometimes it's just a few minutes. For us, it ends up being kind of longer than we intended. But just a time that we can just really talk things through, or how your day is going, how my day is going, things like that. But the point of that is we just have to be intentional, especially as we have kids, have to
kind of carve that time out on purpose.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters when, it is during the day. Although probably not. My only suggestion is to not make it like the very last thing at night,
Right.
like 10 o'clock at night when you're both so tired and can't think.
Yeah, sometimes we'll typically do it in the morning. I mean, our lifestyle's set up a little different, obviously, because I work from home. We'll get up, we'll feed the kids, I'll take the kids to school, come back, and then we'll have some coffee time before I get my day started and before she has to jump into everything she has to do. But sometimes it's at night, when you put the kids to bed. Our kids go to bed at 7:30, so it gives us a little time from then on. But it's like she said, you don't want to sit on the couch and spend 2 hours watching a movie or watching the Olympics, and then right before bed, okay, let's have our talk time, right when we get into bed, because...
So sometimes we do it in the evening, and we just kind of have to be intentional not to click on that remote right away after we come down from putting the kids to bed, and just be like, okay, you know what, we're just playing some music and
Right.
have some time together to chat. So what we want to do kind of on a weekly basis, hopefully we can do this on a weekly basis, is to kind of give you some kind of practical tools to help you get started on. Or maybe you already do this time together, but sometimes people ask, like, well, what do you talk about?
Some days, nothing.
Yeah. So just maybe like a table topic question that we can post every week in our video that just kind of, you can use it or not use it, but at least for those of you who need an idea, it will help you get started on your coffee time together. So this week is just that: when and where and how will your coffee time happen on a regular basis in your family, in your marriage. So that's kind of something you can discuss with your spouse. And another thing is, we kind of, if you guys want to follow us and watch these videos, we would love it if you and your spouse can watch together.
Yep.
And then just dive into your discussion or table topic.
And that's a lot of stuff we'll get into down the road. Is that honestly, when we got married, we're two very different people. We grew up two very different ways, and when you come together, and then especially when we had children, it's a whole nother ball game. So we are intentional about having our own time, but we're also very intentional about having our time together where we can grow together, we can learn, how long has it been? 11 years? 12? Almost 12 years of marriage.
Almost 12.
12 years! No. But it's a learning process, and it's always going to be a learning process, and there's always going to be changes, and there's going to be times in life when it's a little bit crazier, but we would definitely want to be intentional about times like this, where it's times together to where we can talk stuff through or see where you're at and go from there.
All right, so that's the question for this week. And again, it's going to look different for every family, every household, and so we would love it if you can discuss that if you like and share with us.
Yeah. Can they post like
comments?
little
I
comments?
don't know. There's I'll post email address and hopefully comment section. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're still trying to figure out all this social media stuff. We're kind of old.
Right.
Getting kind of old for
We're
that
gonna
stuff.
figure out social media. I'm gonna Snapchat your Twitter for the feed of the Facebook Insta poke.
And every day I just want to end with just kind of a nugget of encouragement for couples and families, and so this week is just to be intentional. It's like that has been just kind of our motto for our family. Be intentional and make that coffee time, or whatever you want to call it, happen.
Yep. And have fun.
Yes.
Good
Laugh
Lord.
a lot. Our videos usually will not be this long. It's like 9 minutes. It will keep it to probably about 5 minutes. But today was the intro, so
It could be interesting. You'll see me say something and Maria will roll her eyes.
and I'll probably cut that section out.
Yes.
So. All right.
And I'll hear about it later.
Right.
We'll work through it. We'll laugh. And then
See you next week.
see you next week. Bye.
Okay, we gotta turn it off.
I got to turn it off.